This is a journal that no one wants to have to make. It's my grief junk journal. Before I fill this journal with pictures and thoughts, I wanted to try and share. I sat many hours in my brother's hospital room as he was battling lymphoma, feeling a tornado of heavy emotions. I had just been the caregiver for my mother-in-law who had barely lost a painful battle with dementia. I can say she lived a long, full life, but it was still a painful battle. It was hard to watch somebody suffer. As my older brother and I used to tease each other, when I was sick, he'd call me a faker. Even when I was in the hospital as a 10-year-old having my appendix removed, he came in one day to visit and he called me a faker. But I got better and went home. Every time I ended up in the hospital, I got better and went home. I wanted to have that for my brother. It felt like everything that could have possibly gone wrong went wrong, and it was excruciating not having him get well. I couldn't just use my positive Pollyanna way out of this for him. I couldn't tease and play with him as we had been so used to doing. I couldn't joke because there would be more bad news around each corner. I found myself journaling to express the confusion and sorrow that needed to come out and expose what was feeling so dark within me. It's taken me 3 times to try to video this to feel like I can share, and I'm not sure if I'll ever upload it, but I feel like I have to get it out and may need to share to let somebody else know that they don't have to try and contain all their emotions within themselves. Journaling and sharing is a way that has helped me. It could be on the back of a napkin, a used envelope, or a scratch paper, but I encourage you to write down and get out your feelings. Your heart will thank you. Creating has always been a healing or spiritual act for me, as it feels like I'm opening my brain to let God pour in His goodness, which also allows me to be present in only the moment I'm creating in. This journal was harder because I wanted to scribble, yell, and break things. Instead, I chose to shade, cry, and tear paper. As this journal was being created, I got to a place where everything seemed dumb, as depression just crept in further and further. Just a few days before my brother's memorial service, our mother had a stroke. It felt like everything I was doing was going in slow motion, and I was consumed with sorrow. She was broken-hearted and never did recover. Even though I'm a person of faith, I was going through the emotions of living. I was aching and not being able to fully be myself. I felt like I was losing who I was, even though I was still trying to be normal, whatever that means. I wanted the world to stop. There had been nothing more important on this planet than trying to help my brother heal, and then ultimately help my brother be comfortable until his journey was complete as that of our mothers. These experiences have been difficult, but I have been able to acknowledge and allow myself time for anger and grieving, recognize and practice truly learning to count my blessings, sometimes one moment at a time, and decide how I want to spend the rest of the time I have on earth. There are a variety of places these papers and embellishments came from. The cover is Creative Memories. Darcy Sibetta is my consultant. The bees came from the Book Vandal shop from Etsy. The vintage pink rose paper is from My Porch Prints, also on Etsy. And some freebies from Scrapbooking with Me on YouTube. Some of the papers I made myself. I tore paper and smeared freshly printed things with water to express feelings that you have when you are grieving, just kind of all collaged, shaded, and muddled together. Although it's difficult to think about how fast time gets away from us in this world, I will embrace this journey as a reminder to find joy in each day and show gratitude for the people in my life and the love I have been shown. As I chugged through creating this journal, it turned from a place to store my anger, sorrow, and grief into a journal to honor my brother. I think I'll make another one for my mother. When I was a girl, my mother instilled creativity within me. She loved to draw, paint, write poetry. And after my brother's passing, they found journals that he was writing his thoughts and feelings in. It's okay if you just scribble it down and have to cross things out. You can cut those papers up, glue them in the book, and get those feelings out. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're still with me at the end of this video, I'd like to share this poem. I call it The Journaler's Blessing. May you let the pages catch your tears. May you let the pockets hold your fears. Let the bindings hold you together. Let your creativity flow, those storms you will weather. Let this journal your burdens carry, and through each entry let their spirits tarry.